Most of you aren't subscribed. Make sure to subscribe, as it helps out the channel. Without further ado, now in front of the newly transformed Shen, Makoto is kinda sad, as he wanted to soar through the sky, with Shen's dragon form, as it makes travel way faster. Shen reveals that since the pact between them is 80-20, in Makoto's favor, the weaker one normally is forced to take the form of the more dominant one, hence why Shen is now a human. Either way, Shen is fine with being a human, as whilst she had trapped Makoto in her illusion, she had taken a liking to Makoto's memories involving samurais from the Edo period. Realizing that Shen has taken a liking to his historical dramas in his memory, Makoto asks that Shen at least change her outfit, but Shen has no problem with Makoto admiring her beauty. Changing topics, Shen gets serious, creating a gate and revealing that she is in charge of a demi-plane in space, housing different demi-humans. Skeptical at first, Makoto soon realizes that this mysterious plane is massive, wanting to know more about this place. Shen thinks for a bit, but realizes this place was supposed to be a space of complete darkness, but has somehow changed since last checking. Approaching a persimmon tree, Makoto and Shen munch on some delectable fruit, all whilst Makoto spots several plants that he recognizes. Activating his skill, Makoto expands his zone, scanning the area in the zone, only to realize that this place is huge. Wondering about the endpoints of this demi-plane, Makoto learns that things can only enter and exit this area through Shen's mist, so the gods may be unable to directly interfere with this demi-plane. Wondering if they could create a village in this town, Makoto asks Shen if she was terrorizing the Highland orcs, learning that she had nothing to do with it. Knowing that they should clear things up, they head out of Shen's mist, only to spot Emma frantically running towards them. Barely with any breath, she asks Makoto not to fight Shen, but Shen butts in, introducing herself. Teasing Makoto for attacking a woman, Shen surprises Emma, who wonders why the invincible dragon Shen is a human. Filling Emma in on their battle, Shen states that Makoto and her have formed a pact, where Makoto is the dominant partner. As some proof, Shen passes Emma some of her scales that fell off during her battle with Makoto, but when Emma still doesn't believe her, Shen releases her dragon aura, scaring Emma to sleep. As the three return to Emma's village, we see all the villagers dancing and celebrating the good news. As Emma serves Makoto some food, he asks for Shen's whereabouts, learning that she must have gotten too drunk and is fast asleep. Showing her gratitude, Emma officially thanks Makoto for clearing up the misunderstanding with the sacrifices, but also saving her life. Shy about compliments, Makoto states that it was actually Emma that taught him about magic, and that Emma shouldn't feel indebted to him. Zooming out, we see Shen and an orc villager watching Makoto and Emma chat, with Shen noting how strange Makoto is, revealing that he had saved this village, avenging all those that were sacrificed before Emma, without a reason. Wanting to thank Makoto himself, the villager is offered by Shen to come stay in her demi-plane. The next day, Makoto sees every single orc in the village packed up and ready to move to Shen's demi-plane. Demanding to know what Shen did overnight, Shen reveals that it was because of their contract that magically gave life to her demi-plane. Plus, quality of life should be far greater than here in the wastelands, as the water, air and environment is high quality. Worried about the possible creatures that may attack the orcs, Makoto turns to see a mini Shen, wondering if she is Shen's child. Insulted, Shen reveals that the little Shen is a fragment of her true body, which Makoto notes is crazy, as she should tell him what abilities she has. Checking a final time if all the villagers want to live in Shen's demi-plane, Makoto begins thinking of how to transport all of them, but within seconds, Shen absorbs all the villagers into her demi-plane, using her mist, shocking Makoto. With the orcs immediately getting to work, gathering materials to build their new town, we cut to Makoto juggling water, darkness, fire, earth and thunder spells in his palm. Knowing that water is his strongest affinity, Makoto notes how by focusing on one element, he can cast multiple water spells at once. At the same time, Shen begins fangirling over the dramas she's watched through Shen's memories, demanding to watch more, but Makoto rejects her, asking why he is the master of her demi-plane. Shen states that since he is her master, he is also the master of her belongings, including the demi-plane. Annoyed, Makoto forbids Shen accessing any more of her memories, which she reveals she has already recorded most of his memories, but wants to spend more time with her master. Wondering how much of his memories Shen has seen, Shen heads out, attempting to find out a better way to record Makoto's memories, as her current method requires Makoto to be stationary. Turning around, Makoto spots his memories that Shen had recorded floating around, spotting a memory of a picture he and his family would take every year. Remembering that his parents are actually from this world, Makoto reasons that it would be smart to check out what his parents did here, setting the goal of visiting a human village first. At the same time, a dwarf runs through a forest, and is cut down by a huge creature, deemed the Black Disaster. Checking up on some orcs working cutting down trees for material, Makoto learns that they are having trouble cutting down tougher trees. Helping out, Makoto activates his ability, having called it Kai. Makoto projects a zone around a small sword he has, strengthening the blade's sharpness. With the enhanced blade, Makoto easily cuts through the tree, shocking the orcs. Seeing one of the orcs injured, Makoto activates his Kai ability, healing the orc, noting how Makoto healed his wound without mana. This would explain how Shen could incense him during their battle. Trying out the ability on himself, Makoto realizes that he is unable to heal himself, but is interrupted by Shen. Carrying an injured dwarf, Makoto wonders what happened, but suddenly a massive spider breaks into Shen's demi-plane. Asking if Shen can help out, Shen states that she'll leave the creature to him, finding out that Shen had encountered the spider before, but had left it be. Knowing that the spider is a bug type, Makoto wonders if it is weak to fire, dodging the spider's charge, only to cut off one of its legs. Creating a fire source in the air, Makoto encases his sword in flames, but realizes the spider has disappeared, appearing above him, spitting out its webs. Cutting through the webs, Makoto manages to sever some of its legs, but is shocked to see the creature's insane regeneration. Changing strategies, Makoto conjures his flame bow, shooting an arrow, only to follow up, using the fire source in there, and impaling the spider with a fire spear from above. Seeing the spider not perishing, Makoto watches as the spider begins absorbing his fire magic, healing itself. Off to the side, Shen learns that the dwarf she saved is an elder dwarf, who was barely able to leave a scratch on the creature. Creating a volley spear, Makoto is surprised to see that the spider simply tanked all the damage, only to regenerate the wounds. Suddenly the spider changes speed, catching Makoto off guard, breaking past his Kai zone, and impaling him onto a tree. Approaching swiftly, the spider begins devouring Makoto, but Makoto gets serious, releasing a huge explosion, blowing the spider back. Charging up several fire spells, Makoto barrages the spider with flames, simultaneously shooting and recasting the same spell. Following up, Makoto conjures a water bow, shooting a huge blast of water, sending the spider flying back into the mountains. Seeing Makoto collapse from exhaustion, Shen gets a bad feeling, as the spider has regenerated, grabbing a hold of Makoto before Shen can intervene. Surprisingly, the spider is in love with Makoto, embracing him, but Shen manages to pull him out of the spider's grasp. As the spider suddenly speaks, Shen asks if the spider remembers her, but the spider states that all it cares about is Makoto, getting jealous when she learns that Shen is Makoto's slave. Hearing that, the spider decides to form a pact with Makoto, only for Makoto to wake up in the presence of a gorgeous girl. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like and comment.